Hi, folks. So today, myself Srikanth here, and we have a guest who is working in software industry, and I had a privilege to work with him in my earlier companies. So today we have Yashwant Singh Rathod. Currently, he's into front end development, but he has worked on front end, back end, both the sides, and he is aware of multiple technologies. So looking at his experience, he has worked as a multiple roles. So he started like earlier with some company and then senior software engineer, uh, then senior software engineer in Girma Soft, SailPoint Digital product team lead. So this is where I had a chance to work with him for almost I think 1.5 year, and then he worked in Zorient, and currently he's as a working as a lead experience engineer in Publicis Sapient. So lot of credentials with Yashwant. And just an additional, so this is his GitHub profile, and I'm sure he has worked on a lot of aspects from beginning of his career. So, yep, welcome Yashwant. So, can you please introduce yourself shortly?
Sure, Sirkan, and thanks, Sirkan, giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge and expertise with your audience. And regarding myself, my name is Yashwant Singh Rathod, and I have around 13 year of IT experience. And generally, I am building software with my team, front-end software for a business, and it's provide a business value to them with the with respect of a good software which is easy to scalable, accessible, and just like it helps to grow them. So that's all about myself, and that's all.
All right. Yeah, thanks Yashwant. So, let's start with the typical agenda. So, to every guest, we go with this couple of points. So, uh, your career journey, expertise, and key takeaways. Okay. Now, the very simple and easy question that somebody is working in the front end development. Let's say you want to start a career in front end development. Let's say he's having 0 to 2 year experience, or let's say 3 to 6 year experience, or maybe he want to apply for a lead experience. So at each individual level, can you, based on your experience, can you point out these are the 2 or 3 skills that person should definitely have.
So just like I will just like give this question answer in two part. One for just like beginner who is just like 1 or 0 or 2 year experience. So I think for those, the most important thing is just like coding. So they should have interest in coding, they have good knowledge of coding, and they did good exercise in their college. At least they had done some minor project at their initial level or college level. And with respect to front end, they should know the basic of front end. Just like how UI work and how user interact, and the UI should be just like consistent with respect to the across device, whether they are working on desktop or mobile, and they have good knowledge of basic JavaScript. Then if you want to move forward, then they can choose according to their interest or industry requirement. They can go for particular library, just like React, Vue, Angular. So those four only just like beginners. And if you're asking me, just like if there is one person have just like already have 4 or 6 year of experience, for those I recommended earlier they want to go for senior lead or tech lead in the front end. Then for those, I think apart from that basic knowledge, they should have just like shift their mindset from individual work to just like for teamwork, and they should have a depth knowledge about front end and the how they choose the particular architecture of that project, and how they choose a particular language, and how they can create a project from the scratch or from the requirement, and those for just like senior developer. So that's all about.
Yeah. And about the lead, somebody is, going transitioning to senior to lead, or he's already a lead. So what are your expectations? Let's say you're taking an interview for a lead position. So typically you have 2 to 3 things you expect from that person.
For lead, just like they should be good in their domain. Just like if it is a React developer, they should know the basic and the high level of React and the support library. And the most important thing is the fundamental, that they should be clear with the fundamental of JavaScript. Then apart from lead doesn't only work for ourselves, they should work with team. They should good have idea of just like how to deal with a big project and how to deal with a big team. And for those, they should just like in their mind, two three things should always be goals. Just like one, the where the project direction is going. They should aware where they are going. And the second thing is the health of code. They should aware of what is the health of current code. And the third thing for lead position, I think lead is generally work with a team. They should know the motivation of team. They should be work with the team. Then the growth of team also depend upon team lead. So I think these two three quality they should have.
Okay. Right. Now, coming to almost similar point, upskilling. So I know that, people can go through a lot of YouTube videos and maybe do some online courses and all. But what is it that, they should try on their own to upskill themselves? For example, they will start one small project, let's say a front-end development for a particular, challenging website or a mobile app development. So anything which you can uh, point out.
First of all, just like upskilling should be in IT, because IT, just like I have already 13 year of experience, and after 3 4 years the technology has changed, and even the hardware on which you are working, they are also updated. Just like earlier, browser not support some type of CSS, now they are supporting. And earlier JavaScript was not that powerful, now it's so much powerful. So earlier we were using just like server side rendering base, but now we are fully creating client side pages. So upskilling is most important. With respect to self learning, I think generally people do self learning, but I just like point out two things for just like beginner. They are doing just like two mistakes. One mistake is just like they are just like if I'm taking an example, if it is a React person, he already have 2 3 year of experience. They try to learn some more thing, just like he tried to learn just like Vue.js or Node.js. So for those, I recommended first they should just like uh, good with fundamental of JavaScript. They should know whatever the JavaScript and what is the core concept and how it works behind the just like system or in background. And the second thing, whatever they are learning on just like online tutorial or on Google or whatever they have already have material, they should implement those things in real life scenario. Whether they are working on already on a project, they should utilize those things. If they have no opportunity to implement those things, then they should create a just like dummy project and try to implement those things whatever they have learned, and create a demo project, integrate to database, or just like create a UI with support across device, web, tablet, or mobile. So I think then only they can just like actually upskill their expertise or just like new skills. So they should do, and generally I'm also trying to do this, but still I am also trying to learn more thing. I'm also in the learning phase, but that should recommended from my side.
Okay. Yeah. Um, Real challenges every day. So I know like at junior level, senior level, or even at a lead level, there are challenges. So typically, what challenges do you face as a front-end developer? Typically, every day or every sprint, something may not work or some requirement. So what challenges you are facing?
So, real life challenges, just like as I'm a tech lead, mostly when the sprint start, that time I have to give estimation. So I can start from that. The estimation is just like most important. If you have a good knowledge of project and skills on which you are working, so you can give a good estimation. So it should be not less and it should be not high. So it's according to the requirement. Might be sometime it's up and down, but it should be according to the task. The second thing, if you just like if you wrongly estimated, if it is taking suppose one working day and you estimated or just like 2 hour, then it will be trouble for you. And at the end of the sprint, you have to give answer why that task is delayed. So that's why you should have with good estimation of the stories. And the next thing, just like at runtime, just like you got a business requirement. Business requirement is just like in the form of business what they want, but you should just like translate that business requirement in the technical respect. So what is the business requirement, how the data will come, how the user flow will go, then only you just like analyze in your mind, and then you can give a good estimation. And at that time you have to also analyze what technical challenge you will be faced on that implementation particular scenario, that you have to just like if you have any question, raise that immediately, and you have any concern, discuss with your team. The next thing, you should also analyze the corner cases of that particular task or thing. So because it's most important, there is a requirement, you implemented it, but you missed the corner cases, then it will come in future with a problem or a bug. So it will waste your time, or it will just like damage your image, because you have lots of experience, you are leading a team. So apart from technical thing, just like at this level, obvious you are working in IT, and it might be some technical challenges. And for that, I recommended just like don't give up, try your best solution. Nowadays, Google and ChatGPT and AI also is there, so they can help you a lot. But you can discuss with your senior or your team, then you can just like find those solutions. So that's all.
Yeah. So let's take some, real life or a simple example, and then maybe we'll talk alongside. So let's say typically everybody knows the banking page, right? So you log in and you have your dashboard. You go to any bank, typically they'll have some dashboard. So there is a requirement. Let's say you have to display some graph. You have to display obviously your current account or saving account or different loan account, those kind of things. Once the user clicks on particular buttons, then the respective section will be shown. Okay, very simple. Now, what do you think, top one or two challenges you can face or the user can face, uh, well, you can address it in the UI development.
So, with respect to UI development, nowadays just like we are using React and other few, all these are just like component-based architecture. So, first of all, just like if you want to create a good scalable performance-wise, it should be good, and it's just like what we can say, it should be just like user experience should be good with across the devices, whether it is web and tab and mobile. Then we should focus on the first of all on the components. So component in just like in front end, it's just like single unit. It's just like itself, it's a system. You give some input to that system, and it will give you output. So it's a generic. So generic thing. So you have to analyze what component you can create within this dashboard. Just like as you give an example of banking dashboard. So might be there is a history of that all the data or all the transaction and the account type and the cards, and might be there is a tab about that page. So you can create a component for those things, and it's a single unit. And those single unit you can bind with the parent component. The parent component generally we a container component. So container component, so container component is responsibility to get data from the server and pass those data to your child component, which work as a single unit. And once you create a component architecture, then you can reuse those component in your other project. So it will save your time, and you can create a library of your component within the same organization. And the next part, if you move to the data side, so how will data come? So generally, if it is a big application or a big company, there is a data is coming from different sources. Just like might be it's a REST API, or it's a WebSocket or a pipeline. So in that might be the data format is like different, but you should fetch the data and convert into the just like in a one format. The data, once you get data, might be it is XML or JSON, but you can uh, just like convert those all the data in the JSON format and pass those JSON data to child component. So your component just like always get a same type of data and work accordingly to the data. And the next part, just like it's a dashboard. Then when user interact with dashboard, some UI will change. Earlier, generally, when we work with jQuery or Backbone, that time we directly manipulating our DOM. But in React or other stateful language, we generally update our state, and whenever the state is updated, it automatically update your UI. So it's what give it advantage for UI developer. It's predictable. So suppose you change some data, and it's on the data once change, the only that UI will be reflect. So for that in React we are using Redux. So it provides just like a single or truth table in technical language. So only whatever data is changed within the application in the Redux, and who want to consume the data within the application or component, they can get data, and according to the data, it will change the UI. So so that should be just like single source or table, or a single point where we will update data, and the rest of component will get the data from there. I think apart from that, that user experience, how is the UI? So UI should be just like very clear. Mostly it's dependency of designer, but from your end, whatever designer is provided you, it should be according to that, and it's across to the just like devices. And the last and most important thing, it's related to browser, just like platform, just like it should be work for all the platform. Just like sometime in with respect to UI, some things are working on Chrome, but mostly we are facing challenges on Safari browser. So we should test all those things on all the browser. It should work seamlessly with all the browser. So if you take care all these things, and your server is good, then definitely it will be a good output, and it will work very well.
Okay. Yeah, very detailed explanation. Let me take one, one corner case. Let's say, so people travel from different countries, right? So I have a currency. Let's say we have one currency. But if I access the same account from a different country, let's say there is a hypothetical requirement that I want to see the amount as per the country from which, I'm, raising this logged in. Let's say I'm in US. I want to see the account balance in, let's say, USD. So very simple question. So how do you solve this, or how do you make this happen? What
So
is it that you need from backend?
backend, just like first of all, just like if you're just like moving from one country to other countries, then you're just like it's depend upon localization. So what is your localization? So according to that, you can just like change your data or language or whatever. But in this question, you are talking about the currency conversion. So generally, it's a server task, because in client we just like so what data we are getting from the server, but it should be just like written on the server side. We can pass the currency or the real time user location to our server, and server according to their logic, they can convert the whatever amount the person have in their account. They convert that account, and we will get the data and render on the UI. But from client side, our responsibility is just like pass the correct detail, or correct location, or correct just like event using that user want to convert their currency to server.
Yeah.
So
So what
that's
you're
all.
saying is this is basically rendering part the front end does. The data, what text you want to show on each field, or the title or whatever, that comes from the server or the backend. So front end is is just showing the content on the screen, rendering on the browser, right?
Yes, it's not about label only, that just the like dynamic part, the numbers, account balance or something.
Mm.
If it is
Okay.
a label or something text, that we can do manage ourselves. Just like in localization, we can create a JSON of all the label, and according to localization, if it is a English, we can pass extract that English JSON, and if it is some French, then we can use French label. That we just like, are you aware or not? In CPM, sorry, in one of the company, we use the same thing, just like localization according to user
Yes, yes.
location. We have
Based
just
on
like,
that only my
yeah,
question was there that, based
yes.
on different
So
countries, the currency. Huh. Yeah.
So for that, we just like manage a file, JSON file, and in that we maintain all the language support. And whatever users have selected, we just like get that JSON object and render on the UI.
Okay. Yeah. So moving on, some other topics. So
Yeah, sure.
typically, every person in the IT industry, let's say in their entire career, they get a chance to work on some legacy to modernization related project. Okay, so there is a legacy project which has some UI and backend. It was working for some reason for a long time, but now management wants to upgrade it or change it, or for whatever business reason they want to make it to the latest one. Okay, let's say some part of that particular legacy system. So for the front end perspective, moving from legacy libraries to modern reactive ecosystem like Redux and React, what is your reflection? How we should go for it? How a front end developer should try or look into it?
So for that, just like if business want to do just like migration from one language to another language, or just like a deprecated version to just like updated version, for that user just like analyze first of all the story and the existing code, and then one by one implement it to current scenario. And similar scenario I faced in my one of the company, and there was it was a just like loan origin system, and one of the module one of the module I was working. So where that JavaScript code was written in just like Angular 1, and it was very just like outdated. For that, we have to convert that time latest React version. So just like in Jira story, they ask us just like do those things. But for us, just like we have to understand Angular 1 first, how they have implemented it. And Angular 1 is also JavaScript library. And they ask us just like if there is a JavaScript function is already implemented, so you reuse that function in just like React, because React support JS also. So it will save your time. And meanwhile, whatever just like you have to change in React, you should be do according to React standard. So that was the business requirement. But for us, it was not easy because it's already in Java, Angular, and we have to analyze that existing code and understand how data is moving between the Angular component. And then one by one, we have created our component and implemented it. Whatever we can reutilize JS code from Angular and React. So we did it like this. So for that transition, according to my experience, you need two things. One of the just like you have to learn the all whatever the legacy code in implemented in which language. For in our case, it was Angular. So we don't need to go in depth, but whatever they have written, we have to understand that level of learning we needed. And next is just like expertise in your current language. So that we have. So somehow we have done, and it was good, and they have appreciated us. So that's all.
Okay, so it is almost. I mean, every person faces, um, faces this kind of challenges. In QA also, we face a lot of challenges. There are some tests which are like written with old generation tools or old Python. Let's say Python old version. Now we have to upgrade to new version. So there are challenges. So we have to learn
Correct.
as you mentioned, step by step. Break it into pieces, go one by one, and then try to synchronize. Yeah. Um,
Yes, yes, definitely.
mm. Next is key lessons from securing and executing concurrent projects. So I'm sure at a lead level you might have worked on multiple projects at the same time. So there's a context, there will be a lot of context switch between two projects, two different UIs. So how do you, what are the key lessons we can point out? Let's say top two lessons or three lessons.
So just like if you are working on two projects simultaneously, then I think with my experience, sometime it's just like one project is have lots of work, and other project have just like only support or guidance from you needed, from your side is needed. So it's tough. You can't just like say I can't work on the both the projects simultaneously, but it's a challenge and it's a learning also. because so it's IT company and it's a professional thing. So what I've learned, just like obviously it's a React, it was in React. So whenever needed, just like I take my from my team member who is just like most senior person or most knowledgeable person. I mostly communicate with that person only. So if there is a challenge, he just like I ask him if it is a problem you are facing, ask me directly. Otherwise, guide your team under you and solve or take care of that project. And other project, just like I focus which project just like need more time. So on that project I just like work full time. So that's how I manage and make sure
Mhm.
I review all the codes from both the projects and attended all the meetings in both the projects. So I know what's going on
Okay.
in the both the projects.
So delegating the responsibility and talking to the senior person from that project and taking updates and obviously attending meetings just to understand what is going on, where are the challenges. One thing I also want to ask that would documentation help in you know concurrent projects handling? For example, you start with one project when you join a company, then you work on let's say 5 6 sprints. You're a lead, so you're expected to deliver multiple projects. So what you do for the project you started, you know that this might be the will be handled by a new person, so you document the technicalities and follow the process, and then the new person who joins in your team give you hand over him the documentation, and of course keep a watch. So overall watch you will do, but then uh, these are the steps maybe you can follow.
So in IT, just like code increase with the time and the thing change with the time. So you should make sure the documentation and it should be organized just like page by page or module by module, I think. And not only in the just like Confluence, generally we use a Confluence tool for creating document, but I think in code also, just like if there is a complex logic or complex function, so why we have implemented, there should be just like commented on that about that function, give it some short description about this. So those type of documentation, it's important. And it's also important, give your management what you have till implemented, because they don't know code. So that's why they should also aware, and you make sure to CC them, we have implemented those thing, and we implemented in this way, we have implemented, and it will give a just like awareness to them. So how they are, we are working, and we get approval from them also. It's not we just like directly get requirement and implement it like this. So it will help you also, just like in future someone asks you why you did this and why you not told us, you can say yes, we have created document and we make you CC then. So that's why we implemented that. And
Yeah,
once you move out from that project, obviously it will help your just like who will come back come after from you.
yeah.
So that's why document is also important.
Okay. So Yashwant, in the interest of time, quickly the next point, state management. Typically Redux still remains a powerhouse for complex info systems. So typically, what is your reflection? What do you think about it? Quickly.
So with respect to React,
Yeah, yeah. Redux, I'm saying Redux.
yes, React is a library. Just like you can create a component, and you can just like within the component you can use the state. But if you are talking about a big application where the component communicate to each other, that time it's hard to pass data from one component to other component. So for that we use state management. State management is just like a application level state of the application. So it's a single table or truth table, you can say, from where all the component get updated data, and only there the all the